everyone! Welcome back to Steam Prison. Today I will be starting Yune's route, who is the saint. So he's like a very prominent figure, almost like a god of the whole Steam Prison world. So we'll be romancing that. Very exciting. And to start his route, you will need to do Ulrich's Fairies ending, which I don't remember what it was about. Probably like more of like background details on like the world building, I think. I don't remember. It's been half a year again, because like the distance between me playing Adaj's route and Ulrich's route is like half a year. So I remember absolutely nothing. But yeah, I think it's like just more background info on like how the world is as a whole. Yeah, and now to romance him, we need that, and we need to start over from the common route. So sorry about that. So yeah, let's go. I think we're keeping the name. I said, oh, yes, didn't I? I'm stupid. Darkness. I think we can just skip until there are choices. Oh, we still have long hair. I forgot about that. It's been so long since I've seen kiddos with long hair. I do wonder what happens though if we don't have like... If we're playing as someone who changes our name, like, because there's moments where the guys just say our name. So I do wonder what happens then. But we'll need to catch the man. I forgot there's that pink-haired man. Very interesting, very interesting. You didn't know that guy existed.
Ohayou gozaimasu.
Finn, my love. This one. Go through first. Have to be stronger. And then our parents get killed. Oh, Yuneseki's perspective. Is that new or?
それでは、私はこれにて失礼します。
That's new!
ご苦労。
Wow!
どれだけ目を通しても、書類は絶えることなく、追いかけるようにやってくる。人の営みのために必要なこととはいえ。入っておいで。
失礼します。
在任処分報告書？
はい。資源廃棄場の職員から連絡があり、お持ちしました。ユネ様が関わられる仕事の書類のようでしたので。
そうか。ありがとう。その職員には礼をしておいてくれ。
わかりました。では、失礼いたします。
在任処分報告書。罪を犯した者の罪状と、処分に至るまでの会議の内容を記録した文書。本来廃棄されることなく保管されるはずなのにおかしなものだ。作成日の日付が昨日で処分も昨日。どのような罪であっても1週間はかけるものなのにますますおかしい。
So, it has been weird since the beginning. Like, the fact that Kiros got thrown off into the depths so easily.
殺害されたのはティステラ夫妻。キーフ・ティステラ。あの議員か。 国政に関わる者の事件が私の署名なく処分されるとは。殺したのは娘？なるほど。肉親を殺した女か。
Interesting, interesting. The day of the case. Oh, I haven't seen Kiros in her usual garb in a while. I forgot about it.
キルス・ティステラ、起きろ。
Hmm?
立て。お前を今から下界へ移送する。
This is the same. Ah, so that happens in between, like us getting sent. The height were far above the depths, higher than the clouds. I might never be able to return once I board that lift. Should I really do this? Resist being sent down. That's a new option. I can't accept this. My parents had been killed and I was being blamed for it, and now I was going to be exiled? I won't accept this. The police officer who was escorting me glared when I stopped.
さっさと歩け。
I refuse. He grimaced in disbelief. It doesn't matter what you say, I'm innocent. When I said it out loud, the spell was broken. I feel liberated. I didn't kill my parents. I left them. I would never have killed them. This is being processed too fast for a murder case. I request a reinvestigation.
それはできん。これは新官員命令だ。
Interesting. They got their hands on the temple as well then. Then let me talk to the one who issued that order. I'm a suspect in this case, but I'm also a victim who lost her parents.
なら、さあ、歩け。
Why is he being so merciless about this? He tried to pull me by the wrist, and I immediately slapped his hand away.
何のつもりだ。
I won't go to the depths until this is treated properly.
お前の主張は認められないと何度言えば。
Scary. The man drew his sword and signaled for the other men to draw theirs as well. Very flashy. I'm the only one they're escorting. I wasn't afraid of their swords, provided I could get a hold of one on my own. I looked at their posture, their movements, trying to find the one I could take on first. That guy! The sword tip of the officer closest to me was quivering. Perhaps he was new or had no combat experience. He was clearly afraid to point his sword at me. That was perfect. I darted at him. Slamming into him shoulder first, I managed to grab his sword. We rolled across the floor. I put my knee on his back to keep him from moving, and put the blade against the back of his neck. Don't move, please. Hoping desperately that he wasn't going to move, I looked up.
血迷ったか。
No, I'm perfectly calm. If you want me to spare him, postpone my exile.
わからないやつだ。そのような権限はないと何度言えばわかる。
Please, just a few days is enough. I won't concede to leaving the heights yet. I knew that the situation wasn't going to drastically change within a few days. I want to resist, though. I can't leave without understanding what's going on. Have strived to be a model for the people. I've been fair and just, conducting myself in a manner that the people could be proud of. I believe that is how a police officer must be, embodying justice. Officers, let me defend myself. I won't accept being sent to the depths. Not without being able to bury my parents or prove my innocence. Is this justice to you? Do you have no sense of justice?
キリス・ティステラ、お前を公務執行妨害罪として逮捕する。数日、数時間かもしれないが、下界行きを先送りすることができる。いい
Sweetie!
か。
How sweet of you. Yes. That's enough. Thank you. I'm sorry for the violence. I rose to my feet and gave the sword back to the officer I took it from. Once he had the sword back, those others surrounded me. I tied my hands behind my back. I didn't resist.
送る場所は拘置所だ。無罪放免ではない。
I know.
執行妨害罪の罪も上乗せされる。さらに不利な状況になったのだぞ。
I know that too. It was necessary to stay here a little longer.
何もできないというのに。バカだな。
バカ. Perhaps, yes. Sweet of him to care. Aww. Now I like another nameless background character. Great. He was right, of course. I hadn't resisted because I had a plan to prove my innocence. There wasn't much I could do from the holding cells. Affecting the outcome of anything was going to be hard. Still, I just can't leave quietly. The depths and the heights were far apart. Once I left, it was all over. I was never going to find a real criminal. I wish there was something I could do. I followed the officers to my cell, happy that the lift wasn't going to take me down just yet. I had evaded my exile, at least for the time being, but there was nothing I could do for my cell. When I yelled, nobody came. All I could do was wait. Even the passage of time was difficult to gauge. The cell had no windows. I was given food to eat 5 times and ate it. I slept twice. That meant about 2 or 3 days had passed. Nothing gets better by waiting, does it? I tried to talk to the people who brought me food, but they all ignored me. All I was doing was postponing the inevitable. Was I really going to get into that lift? If only I could at least get a hold of my criminal disposition notice. I had to know how the temple had judged my case before I could do anything, but I had no way of getting it. I haven't admitted my crime. I don't think this is how criminals are normally treated. I wondered whether the people I had arrested had felt the same way in that cell. I wondered if I arrested any innocents. Had I arrested anyone who wasn't given the chance to prove their innocence? Who was exiled? No, I don't want to think that I did. I lived a just life. I didn't arrest any innocents. The situation being the way it was hard not to think about it. Are they really going to exile me? Was I really going to have to live in that horrible place as a criminal? I looked up.
お久しぶりと言ってもいいんでしょうか。
Hi, honey. Finn, why are you here?
あなたの顔が見たくて。
I see. How did you know I was here?
あなたが駅で暴れて逮捕されたという話、新会員の中では結構有名になってます。
I see. Sorry if that caused you trouble.
いえ、そんな。全然。あなたは無実なんです。抵抗するのは当然です。しかし、暴れるとは。まさか、それも冤罪ですか？
No, I was being violent. It's true. Just casually admit, yeah, I was violent. I had no choice. They weren't even listening to me. I disarmed one of them and took him hostage.
剣であなたらしいですね。
I guess. And this is the end result. I can't prove my innocence from here. I'm just waiting. It's a bit painful. Finn sighed, clearly emphasizing with my situation. I wanted to talk about nicer things and cleared my throat. What about you? How's life treated you while I was gone?
俺ですか。俺は解雇されるようです。
My honey, I'm sorry. What? Why?
警察官はパートナーでの行動が義務付けられています。って それは言わなくても十分知っていますよね。それでもし片方が失職した場合、もう片方も職権を剥奪されるとのことです。
Horrible. What? Oh no.
いいえ、本当です。新会員から数日中に正式に連絡があるだろうと、先ほどコルドア殿に言われました。
But then it's my fault that you were discharged. Now, even Finn. It wasn't just a problem anymore. My problem anymore. Even Finn had been dragged into it. I was furious at how powerless I was.
でも解雇というより転職みたいな感じなんです。多分おそらく。
He's trying to make me feel better. Baby! I love you! Finn was choosing his words carefully. I was too shocked to say anything and waited for him to say more.
とにかく俺新しい場所でも頑張ろうと思います。ですからあなたも決して希望は捨てないでください。
My poor honey.
それを伝えたくてコルドア殿にお願いして特別面会の許可をもらいました。短い間でしたけど、最後に落ち着いて話すことができてよかったです。それでは。
Wait, Finn? At the end? That makes it sound like we're not going to see each other anymore.
そうですね。すみません。それではまたいつか必ず会いましょう。
Yes, you bet we will. Thank you for coming, Finn. Finn smiled and he left. I listened to his fading footsteps after he closed the door. Finn lost his job because of me. He'd been smiling, but I knew that was nothing to smile about. What happened in my house had changed his life as well. I'm sorry, Finn. After Finn left, it was impossible for me to tell how much time passed. My desire to eat or rouse myself diminished. Nothing changed. I was still imprisoned. It didn't look like they were going to exile me anytime soon, but I wasn't getting out either. I was beginning to think I might have to rot in my cell when hurried footsteps approached and the door was thrown open.
キリスティステラ、身支度をしついてこい。
Am I getting exiled now? There was no need to get ready. I had nothing else with me but my clothes. Straightened my hair and my clothes a little and walked towards the officer.
決して無礼のないように。いいな。
Respectful? He didn't answer, putting me in shackles instead. Who am I going to meet? There was no answer. Where are we going?
いいから早く出ろ。
He pushed me ahead. It seemed he wasn't going to tell me. I have no choice but to obey, even if I have no idea what's going on. Roger. I followed him, holding on to the vain hope that I might be given a chance to explain what had happened. Stepping outside after being imprisoned made me feel dizzy. I blinked, hoping to accustom myself to the brightness, and looked around. This place is so noisy. What's happening, I think? There was a reason it was noisy, though.
見ろよ、あれ。親を殺した上に警察官に暴行した女だ。
Yeah.
本当だわ。一体どうしてここにいるの？
I'm the cause of this commotion, it seems. When the people saw me, they stopped and looked at me. Nobody approached me, but I couldn't help but overhear their talk.
犯罪者はさっさと裁けばいいのに。新会員は何をやっているのかしら。
ああ、まったくだ。あんな奴が警察官をやっていたとは信じられないな。
I followed the officer, unable to avoid the vile whispers. Oh, poor Kira, she didn't even do anything. Their looks were piercing. What they said hurt me. Simply walking down the hallway was a punishment itself. The officer had led me to the door leading to the chapel. He undid my shackles and warned me again.
この先は一人で行け。いいか、くれぐれも。
Yes, yes, be respectful, I know. He stared at me for a moment, then opened the door. I wonder who's waiting for me here. Excuse me. I bowed and walked into the chapel.
よく来たね。
Yune! CG! Saint Yune! My heart almost stopped. I hadn't expected to find him there. Why is he here? Had Saint Yune really summoned me? Why? Why would he be? My mind was racing. I had no answer. No, he must have wanted someone else to come. I suspected I was trespassing on his prayer. I'm sorry that I disturbed your prayer. Excuse me.
別に祈ってないよ。せっかく呼んだのに、どうして去るの？
Had me come? Me?
そうだよ。お前に用があって、連れてくるよう手配したんだ。
Uh-huh. He gestured for me to come closer. I wasn't sure what to think of the situation, but having been summoned, I had to be as polite as possible. Slowly approached him. Why did he summon me? Saint Yune was the head of our country. It was inconceivable to me that he would even be aware of who I was.
キルスティステラ。お前の事情は私の耳にも届いている。身内を二人も失うとは、さぞかし辛いだろう。
I can't believe he knows about me. To Saint Yune, I was just one citizen among many. To think that he's taking note of me personally, he is truly a saint. On the other hand, I had no idea what he knew about my case. If he had arranged for me to be released and brought to him, then I assumed he knew the charges against me were false. That means that I...
だけど、人殺しは人殺しだ。しかも親族を殺すとは、滞在もいいところだね。
But it was my own fault for getting my hopes up. There had been little reason for me to think that Saint Yune would think I was innocent. I need to be respectful with him. I can't be rebellious now. However, I had to say something. It might be my last chance. I didn't kill them.
殺していない？
No, I didn't kill my parents. It was someone else.
別のものって誰？
Well,
困るな。私に嘘をつくなんて。
I'm not lying though. But I didn't know how to answer his question. I didn't know who had done it.
嘘をつくならもっと上手にしなよ。報告書を改ざんするとかさ。
Bruh, like, how am I supposed to do that? Falsifying the paperwork is a crime, girl. Not the time.
そう？人を殺すよりはよっぽど経済だと思うけど。
This man is just... Teacher! Hi, welcome. It's been a while. Clearly, I thought I had killed my parents. I'm just a citizen to Saint Yune. The IRLs would like to know your location. Why? I don't owe anything. Normally, it would be a great honor simply to talk to him, but... I shouldn't have hoped that he would change anything. But I was still disappointed.
だからね、お前に罰を与えようと思うんだ。
Me? Punishment? I gulped at those words. Am I being exiled? His eyes were clear like colored glass. I gulped again.
通常ならそうだね。でも、今回は異なる。キルスティステラ。
Oh,
お前は罰として、私の付き人になれ。
that's not bad at all. I'll take it. Serving you? How is it a punishment to be your servant? I would be serving you, Saint Yune. That's not a punishment. It's an honor.
普通はそうかもね。でも
But
今は言ってあげない。楽しみはじっくり味わうべきだから。とにかくお前は適任そうなんだ。引き受けてくれるよね。
Of course. Serving Saint Yune. I have no idea what made me suitable, or why he had decided that. It's definitely better than exile in the depths. It would be an honor. Allow me to serve you. The choice was simple.
ありがとう。もっと絞られるものだと思ってたから拍子抜けしたけど。
Like, what do you mean? Like, of course anyone would jump to be, like, serving you. You're like the revered saint or whatever. Huh?
何を言おうが付き人にさせるつもりでいたから即断してくれて助かったよ。それじゃ今日からよろしくね、付き人さん。質問はまた後で。先に仕事の引き継ぎをしてもらうよ。
No way. You can hear my fan? Since when? Since yesterday? Oh shit. What about now? Is it better now? Oh. No one said anything. Is it good now? I hope it's good now. I'm not sure. Thank you for telling me. Defeats the purpose of DMing, but yeah. Look, I panicked, DHL. Yeah, thank you for telling me. I didn't know. I thought I didn't know. That means it's been like that since yesterday. Oh no. Santine clapped his hands and the door opened. A man appeared, moving in soft, careful motion.
彼女に付き人の仕事を教えてあげて。伝え忘れのないように。いいね。
かしこまりました、ユネ様。
Santine nodded and looked at me again. They forgot a dot.
じゃ、また後で。お前の働き、期待しているよ。
I wonder what kind of work he needs that needs, you know, a girl who murdered her parents? Like, what are you trying to make me do, bro? With that, Saint Yune left the chapel. Discord compression is different from OBS. I guess so. Like, well, no, to be honest, my entire setup is also different when I stream compared to Discord. Because on Discord, I just call on my laptop. And I have other setups for my ROG for streaming. So yeah. Somehow my laptop mic is better than my ROG mic, but I don't have. I can't use my laptop to stream because it's really bad. So yeah, unfortunate. Why did he pick me? I didn't get a chance to ask. The situation was so bizarre that I had to ask myself whether I was dreaming. But I wasn't. I had to accept it. Anyway, I can stay here now. And I was even going to live inside the temple near Saint Yune. ROG mic is better, the laptop just has more settings applied to it. Really? You think so? Good, because this was expensive. And then I got it and it sounds like crap and then I got really sad. The temple was at the heart of our country, the focal point of all that happened in it. Here I had a chance to prove my innocence. But I need to do it lawfully. I need to clear my name properly. Finn was going through a lot because of me as well. Perhaps if I could prove my innocence, that would help him too. I won't give up, and there's a lot of work ahead of me.
こちらがユネ様の予定を記した書類です。
Discord on the ROG doesn't sound good because Discord assumes you're using your laptop mic? No? I have different accounts on my ROG Discord. and on my laptop Discord. I'm confused, DHL. Do I sound like shit on my Discord? Can you explain?
新会員がまとめた要望書で週の初めに発行されます。ユネ様の判断で変更、取り消しとなる場合もありますが、通常こちらに記載されたことが執り行われます。
I see. There are quite a lot.
驚くのはまだ早いですよ。これで全部ではありませんから。
The background is honestly gorgeous. He's so pretty.
予定が変更となった場合は、あなた自身が報告書を作成し、新会員の情報管理課へ提出しなくてはいけません。
Constantly popping bolster. I don't do that on stream. Duh. That's like my when I call with my friends. I know how to behave. That's rather important.
ええ、頑張ってください。
I nodded and took the schedule. My stem, yes, it's my stem. It would be really distracting if I do that on stream though, and might overstimulate some people. That's why I don't do it, even though I wish I could. I have to say, I'm surprised. I didn't know that Saint Yune was so busy.
民のために祈りを捧げるだけの存在だと思っていましたか？
Kind of. Well...
隠さなくてもいいですよ。私も付き人になるまではそう思っていましたから。
Oh, you're his attendant as well?
元ですけどね。
え？
あなたが選ばれましたから、私はお役御免となりました。
But why?
わかりません。今朝方ただ一言、代わりのものを作ると言われただけですから。言いづらいですが、それも罪をお持ちの方だとは思わず、いささか驚いてしまいました。
I would be surprised too. Suddenly being told I'm jobless is crazy. I can imagine, yes. Nobody likes to be dismissed, and being replaced by a criminal must hurt even more. It hadn't been my idea for this to happen, but I felt sorry for him. I'm so sorry.
気にしないでください。相応の保証と次の職の斡旋をしていただけるそうですし、私は平気です。
But it can't be easy for you to suddenly walk away from your job.
そうですね。多少は。ですが平気です。ユネ様がお決めになったことですから。かの方の言うことは絶対です。そろそろ夕食の時間ですね。ユネ様に食事を届けるのも付き人の仕事です。専用の厨房へ案内します。ついてきてください。
Alright. You already had an attendant, so why? And why has he picked me? Listening to the man had made me more and more confused as to Saint Yune's motives. Was I ever going to understand him? I have a lot to do. Excuse me, Saint Yune.
どうぞ。はい。
I've brought your dinner.
ありがとう。お前の付き人としての最初の仕事だね。頑張って。
He looks weird without his hat, but he also looks weird with his hat. I don't know what I want. I don't like both. Thank you. That puts quite a lot of pressure on me coming from him. I surveyed the room, moving carefully so as to not spill the bowl of corn soup. So this is his room. White seemed to be the main color throughout. The temple's crest was even embroidered on the wet bed sheets. Feels a bit lifeless.
よそ見したら危ないよ。
Oh, I'm sorry. I set his food before him, and Saint Yune took a piece of bread from the platter. So he does eat.
当たり前だよ。私だってお腹くらいすく。
That startled me. Saint Yune grinned.
何を考えているかはわかるよ。私の食事を初めて見る人は大抵同じような表情をするからさ。
Poor dude.
聖人だなんだって崇められてるけど、本質は人間だからね。
You are?
食事もすれば、睡眠もとるよ。
But I thought he's been living for like hundreds of years. I see. I will remember it.
別に忘れないよう心がけないといけないことでもないと思うけど。
When he smiled, he looked like an adolescent. Seeing that aspect of him was a surprise to me.
あ、部屋から出て行かなくていいよ。お前も一緒に食べて。パン、温かくて美味しいよ。
He laughed again and gestured at the sofa opposite himself. But I...
食堂で食べてきたんだろ？知ってるよ。でも付き合ってよ。一人の食事は楽しくないし、それに伝えないといけないことがあるからさ。
What is it?
そう。私がお前を付き人として雇おうとした理由、知りたいだろ？
Mm-hmm.
だからほら、こちらへおいで。
Alright. I had wanted to ask him. The riddle I had been unable to solve was going to solve itself for me.
お前にね、付き人の仕事以外に頼みたいことがあるんだ。
Am I supposed to kill people for you? I wouldn't be surprised. What is it?
私を殺してほしいんだ。
What the fuck? I mean, I wasn't entirely wrong.
手段は選ばないから、いつか私を殺してくれ。できれば上手に。苦しまない方法がいいな。痛いのは誰だって嫌でしょ？痛みなんて数百年感じたことないんだけどさ。
Oh, he's numb. Oh, yeah, girl, I would react the same way, honestly. The conversation had taken a shocking turn. Meanwhile, Saint Yune was eating as if nothing had happened.
パン、最後の一つだけど、いる？
No, Please? Was he kidding? Or perhaps I had misheard him.
ねえ、返事は？お前は私を殺してくれる？
I hadn't misheard him. Well, would you tell me a reason? Why do you want to be killed?
私には、私自身にしか理解できない悩みがあるんだよ。お前には一生わからない悩みがね。お前の罪人処分報告書を読ませてもらったよ。二人人間を殺したそうじゃないか。それも肉親。
I told
な
you.
かなかひどい話だ。それほど非道なものなら私も殺してくれるんじゃないかと期待してね。だから下界送りから救ってやった。ということでねえ、引き受けてくれる？
What the fuck am I supposed to say? If you insist, apparently. Okay. Oh, he likes that. I don't want to kill him if it can be avoided. I haven't even killed my parents to begin with. It wouldn't be an easy request. Are you quite serious about this?
当然。冗談で罪人は救わないよ。私は本気だ。本気で死にたいと思っている。しかし、私の周囲の者はそんなことは許さないだろう。聖人ユネを愛しているからね。
Aw, poor darling. So he thinks of himself as separate from the Saint Yune that's revered.
だから、犯罪者が適任なんだ。そして、お前が選ばれた。頼れるのはお前だけなんだ。今のところは、ね。
I hadn't killed anyone yet. I wasn't going to have an easy time. But this is what Saint Yune wants. And I dodged having to go to the depths. I can hardly turn him down. I tried to think of the way to have my cake and eat it, then gave up and nodded. I understand. If you insist, I will do it.
ありがとう。私が見込んだだけのことはある。
Is that Did Saint Yune really hire me because he thinks I killed my parents? Apparently, the false charges had brought me into his service. He saw me as a murderer. My soul felt weighed down, dragged into a reality I didn't want to acknowledge. I didn't ki-
それ以上、親殺しを否定してはいけないよ。
Why not?
私はお前の冷酷さを買ったんだ。殺せないなら、お前は不要だ。罪人処分報告書には、有罪と信じるに足りる説明があった。それを覆すのはなかなか苦労するだろう。物的証拠は保管室に封印され、殺害現場は跡形もなく清掃され、新たな証拠は出ないだろうね。
Does it not sound suspicious to you at all? Like how it was cleared up so fast like that?
ユネ石英の命令さえあれば、無条件で解放してやれるだろうけど、あいにく、私にその気はない。キルス・ティステラ、上界にとどまりたいのであれば、私に従うほかないんだ。そんな顔しないで。無事殺せたらご褒美をあげるから。お前の自由を保証すると約束する。死んだ後のことだから約束が果たせるかはわからないけど、誰にも否定できない書面を用意しておいてあげる。私を殺すことで罪が消える。そう思えば悪くないだろ？
I can't tell whether it's good or bad. I'll do my best to fulfill my duty.
それでいい。期日はいつでも。とか言ったら、いつまでも伸びてしまいそうだね。1ヶ月だ。1ヶ月以内に私を殺すこと。もしお前が仕事を放棄したとみなしたときは、私がお前を殺す。
I didn't think he had it in him. Huh. Interesting. Alright, I understand. A month. I didn't want to kill Saint Yune if there was a way to avoid it. I need to think about whether there's a way I can avoid this, and if there isn't, I should prepare to be killed. Of course I didn't want to die. But I knew I'd rather be killed than having to kill someone else. Saint Yune wiped his mouth with a napkin and stood up.
さて、いい時間だ。次の仕事に移るとしよう。
Okay, but...
きっとその書類には書いてないよ。緊急の用ということで引き受けたから。どうせどうでもいい内容なんだろうけどさ。さあ行こう。ついておいで。
He led me to one of the parlors in the temple. The guide that the previous attendant had given me said that it was a room that Saint Yune mostly used for discussions. Apparently these were going to take place with a number of government officials.
ようこそおいでくださいました。お忙しい中、申し訳ございません。
Waiting for us was a tall, somewhat elderly man with some young men behind him. Judging by their clothes, they were nobility.
本当に私を捕まえられてよかったね。
ええ、それはとてもとても。おや、そちらは。
I looked at Saint Yune, unsure whether giving my name was allowed. Saint Yune grinned and said, "She's Kiras."
私の新しい付き人だ。多分害はないから安心して。
そうですか。だといいのですが。
The man gave me a cold look. I could tell he hated me. Can't blame him. He has to share the room with a criminal. Expected to meet more people who reacted like that. Shouldn't take it too hard when it happens. Should just accept it. It didn't matter what other people thought about me. I had to believe in myself and find my own way. The moment Saint Yune took a seat, a door quietly opened. Women in maid outfits appeared, bringing food. Food? Saint Yune had eaten just before, and the women were bringing small snacks. The entire table was soon covered in a succulent feast.
品評会で優勝した牛の肉をお持ちしました。お口に合えばいいのですが。
I wonder if he can eat any of that. I needn't have to worry. Saint Yune reached for the food faster than any of the assembled nobility.
なかなか美味しいよ。ありがとう。
The man's features relaxed.
それはよかった。では私も。
Saint Yune dropped his fork. His face was contorted and he clutched his throat.
苦しい。
Saint Yune?
私に触れるな。
そんな毒味は済んでいるはずなのに。
Bro is bro is playing with everyone. How rude.
冗談だよ、冗談。
冗談。
そう。せっかく一緒に食べるんだから楽しい方がいいじゃないか。
And this is fun for him then. I placed the clean fork in front of him. I thought the joke had been in poor taste.
そうでしたか。いやはや、ご無事でよかったです。
Bro is so annoying.
私は知らない。どんな毒だって効かないというのに、お前の焦った顔、面白かったよ。
それは万が一ということもありますので。
それね。
Saint Yune drained his glass of wine and stared at it.
このワイングラスいっぱいに注がれていたとしても、口に入った途端、水のようになる。
毒味で従者を失ったことのある身としては、なんとも羨ましいことです。
So poison doesn't work on him, huh? Thinking about it, that made sense. If poison worked on him, he wouldn't have asked me to do it. I considered this as the conversation moved on.
それで、私に話って。
Man began to talk about politics. Like living conditions of the people, public facilities, tax usage. It was a serious, well-informed discussion I wouldn't have expected over the dinner table. And that didn't just apply to the nobleman. Saint Yune also gave concrete opinions without dodging anything. I had thought it was going to be a boot-licking event, but it didn't seem to be. So this is what the government is like. Did my father do this as well? Politicians handle classified information. They couldn't take it home. He had never talked much about it either. I wonder if he ate with Saint Yune as well. I watched their exchange. At one point, the man looked over at me.
ユネ様、失礼なことと承知してお伺いしますが、どうしてそちらの女性を連れているのです？彼女は
殺人犯ってことは知ってる。雇いたいから雇った。それ以上の説明は必要？
He doesn't care at all. That's crazy. Saint Yune looked impatient, and the man immediately shook his head. Seeing that the nobleman wasn't satisfied with the answer, Saint Yune spoke again.
ただの暇つぶしで気まぐれで雇ってみた。それだけだよ。
Killing time.
ああ、そうですか。失礼いたしました。
The nobleman cleared his throat, realized he was overstepping his bounds, and returned to talking about politics. I'm glad he didn't answer that question. Nobleman looked healthy, but he was still rather old. If Saint Yune had asked that I was supposed to kill him, the man might have keeled over. killing time on a whim. He told me he wanted me to kill him, but I still had no idea why. Maybe he wants to die to kill time, I thought. Wait, that doesn't make sense. I watched the discussion, thinking about what Saint Yune's motivation could possibly be. Saint Yune flung his cap onto the bed and sprawled out on the sofa. Good work.
本当に疲れた。ま、料理が美味しかったからいいけどさ。たまにいるんだよ。今日みたいに個人的に話したいと言ってくる政治家。私に話したって何にもならないのに。
Is that so?
うん。政治の大半は議員たちに任せてるんだ。私は承認したり、たまに意見を言ったりするだけ。流動的なことには興味ないから。
I'm surprised. You were taking the discussion very seriously.
美味しい食材を持ってこられたからには、話を合わせてあげないと失礼だからね。
I also treat people who bring me food nicer. Food, huh? Speaking of food, Saint Yune had effortlessly eaten everything set before him. And he had had dinner in his room before that. Impressed by his appetite, I checked the appointments for the next day. Tomorrow you're going to attend the assembly session.
視察か。うわぁ。つまらないんだろうな。
His Holiness yawned audibly and sat up.
忘れてた。最後にもう一つ、やらないといけないことがあったんだ。
Really?
そこには書いてないよ。仕事ではないからね。ついておいで。
Saint Yune went over to a door set in one of the walls. Oh? Secret door? He opened it. Beyond was a small room. What is this?
付き人の控室。つまり、お前の部屋だ。
Oh.
お前には、今日からここで寝泊まりしてもらう。
Not secret door. This is my room now. It was quite luxurious for a waiting room. Compared to the nap room I had had to use as a police officer, it was the difference between heaven and earth. May I really have this? May I really use this
いいも
room?
何も、使えって言ってるんだ。利用してもらわないと困る。付き人たるもの、常に私の一番近くにいなければいけない。早く自覚すること。いいね。あとは、そうそう、服についてだ。ここにかかっているのが付き人の制服。私に近しいものである証だ。明日からはこれを着るように。それからこれ。
My sword!
そう。付き人には本来必要のないものだけど、一応体験してもらおうと思う。お前は、剣の腕が立つと聞いているから。
Thank you very much.
それに、私を殺すとき、これがないと不便だろ？じゃあね、おやすみ。また明日。
Saint Yune grinned at me. His smile didn't suit the topic at all. Then he turned around and left. The door and the walls were thick. Sound didn't travel well through them. Killing Saint Yune. I have a pretty difficult job ahead. Put the book with his appointments on the table and undid the buttons on my clothes. Nightwear had been laid out for me. I changed into it and thought about what had happened. Things changed way too much today. Saint Yune can't be killed by poison. Saint Yune was immortal. I'd always thought that must be at least half just a legend, but apparently it was no exaggeration. Can't kill himself, so he's asking me to do it. But couldn't kill a saint, even on his own orders. I need to use the time I have. I only have a month before I'll be the one to die. But what could I accomplish in a month? The huge number of tasks swirled through my head. I'm worried about Finn as well. Is he alright? Finn! He had lost his job because of me. I never anticipated that. It seemed alright when I talked to him, but that was probably just on the outside. An apology isn't enough to set this right. That had been all I could do for him. Yune Sekie's perspective. There was a soft knock.
いいよ、入って。
失礼します。
You're kinda hot. Oh, you're a bad guy. Oh, you look like your son. Werner Evans had come. He was the speaker of the assembly, the main administrative body. Essentially, he was the second most important man in the country after me. Why had he come? I thought I could take a pretty good guess.
夜分遅くにすみません。
本当に何しに来たの？
新たな付き人をつけられたとか。先ほど知らされたため伺った次第です。
He surveyed the room.
彼女はいないよ。控室で今頃寝ているだろう。
彼女。
ああ、キルス・ティステラ。親殺しの女。
はい。
素性をご存知なのですか？
ご存知も何も資料を読んだんだよ。
He stood up and pulled open a drawer.
それは
在任処分報告書。私に渡されずに廃棄されかけた謎多き紙切れ。ここに情報が記載されていた。ねえ、どうしてこれは廃棄されたの？どうして私の署名がないの？どうして私に届けなかったの？
申し訳ございません。
Huh.
私は存じません。何かの手違いでしょう。ですが、彼女は揺るぎなく有罪です。ですから、付き人の任は解かれるべきかと。
うん、解かないよ。揺るぎないのなら、なおさら利用すべきだ。
Do you know how weird you sound saying that? Though I guess he doesn't care.
ユネ様。
そう心配することないだろう。私は不老不死なんだ。手をかけようと思ったものはどうなるか、お前も知っているはず。
はい。では、失礼します。
存じませんか。
Tim.
では、誰の仕業だろうね。
Don't just believe him like that.
まあ、誰でもいいか。すごく期待しているわけではないんだ。
It's very interesting.
これはゲーム。暇つぶしだ。私を殺せたらそれでいいし、殺せなくても。というか、殺せないんだろうけど。殺せなくても仕方がない。彼女を殺して、はい、おしまいだ。これは退屈を紛らわすための遊びなんだ。だから。
Hi, Madness. Welcome in. How was your stream? I was watching a little bit and then I had to go lunch. And then immediately stream after. How was it? Was it fun?
せいぜい楽しませてよね。キルス・ティステラ。
Why does it seem like there's a killer in the dialogue? Well, you see, all the men in this visual novel are not right in the head. You're not dating another killer, are you? So far, the killers I've dated, well, depends. Well, I guess once they've killed someone, they're a killer, huh? Okay, yeah, everyone's been a killer so far. Hehe. Teehee. Peace. But they're good boys, I swear. There's reasons. It's self-defense or mutual cooperation. No, they're good boys, I swear. They're good boys. Mm-hmm. I don't know about this one, but yeah. They're babies. It's okay. Is it morning already? The guy in the current dialogue is not good. He said it sounds like having fun. Well, I don't really like the guy in the dialogue as well, but to be fair, he's an immortal who's like really bored of immortality. So, you know, I see where he's coming from. If I was immortal and I was bored, I probably would start going insane too. You have to get up. Get ready.
あら、おはよう。なかなか起きないから心配してたのよ。
I need to buy you a better dating sim. What do you mean? This is a good dating sim. And also, I don't think Steam has very many, like, dating sims that are good. Otherwise, I would have already bought it. Get you away from these evil folk? They're not that mean. They're good boys. Mother? And father, you too.
どうした？そんなところに立っていないで、早く一緒に朝食をとりなさい。
Yes. I sat down and the servants brought us breakfast. They're in prison for a reason? No. Okay, listen. The one I'm going for right now is not in prison, okay? He's like the actual, like, the most important person in the country. He's like almost like a god, a revered saint. Yeah. So he's not in prison. He manages the prison and the country and everyone else. Yeah. Sounds pretty evil? Quite. My father was reading the newspaper and my mother talked to me excitedly. It was a morning like any other. Thank you for the hydrate. I will drink. No, it's not. My parents were both dead. So, what is this?
あらあら、一口も食べてないわね。具合が悪いの？
That was a very nice ara. Oh. I looked at her. She seemed worried. No, I'm alright. I'll eat. I whipped off a piece of bread and stuffed it in my mouth. It had a clear, definite taste, as though it was real. Is this real? Was I having a cruel dream? My father and my mother were gone. Finn had left as well.
おはようございます。キルス、今日もよろしくお願いします。
Finn!
フィン君、いつもすまないね。娘を迎えに来てもらって。
いえ、そんな。一緒に行きたくて、俺が好きでやっていることですから。
フィンさん、よければ一緒に朝食はどうかしら。この子、今食べ始めたところなの。
はい、喜んで。一緒に食べるのって楽しいですよね。
そうだな。一人よりは断然一緒がいい。
Is it a dream? No. I didn't want to admit it, but it's just a dream. A dream of something that was never going to happen again.
どうしたんですか？悲しそうですね。何か気に障りましたか？
No, not at all. Finn was as gentle as always. My father was as calm as always. My mother was as upbeat as always. There's nothing sad about this, but... Finn, this is just a dream. And dreams end.
どこへ行くの？ギルス。
I have somewhere I need to go. I looked back and forth between my mother, my father, and Finn. Even if this isn't real, I'm glad I got to see you all again. Poor baby! Well, goodbye. My consciousness began to attach itself to my body. It was a dream, like I thought. Still, I'm glad I had it. I got out of bed and went to the closet. There were a number of uniforms, all the same type. Picked up one of them and took it off its hanger. Perhaps they had used my police uniforms for reference. All of the pieces fit me very well. It was new and unusual, but I knew in time I'd get used to it. Just like I'm going to get used to my parents being gone. They weren't going to come back to life. I wasn't going to deny the reality before me, but I'm still alive. Surely I can find who did this. I'm not going to give up. I buckled my sword and looked to the mirror. It looked rather nice considering I had such a melancholic dream. Father, Mother, Vin, I'm going to work. Oh, you look so cute! Servant route. Yeah! My waiting room had 2 doors. One of the doors led to Saint Yune's room, other led to the main hallway. I used the latter and went to the kitchen to eat before taking Saint Yune his breakfast. His meal consisted of several plates on a serving cart. I had to wonder whether he was going to be able to eat at all. Excuse me, I've brought your breakfast. Good morning, Your Holiness.
Ohayo.
Saint Yune was already dressed in his robes and sitting in a chair. Since he seems to be busy, I quickly set his breakfast before him on the table.
今日も美味しそうだ。
It smelled like a boy. It was enough to make me feel like I was the older of the two of us. But I'm not. He's much older. Whenever I had seen him at functions or seen his image in art or statues, he had looked the same. Yune Seikie didn't age or die. His immortality was a symbol of order and peace for this country, an object of reverence. Never dreamed that I'd serve him. I stared at him, thinking about how strange it was. He noticed.
どうしたの?
Nothing. You ate a lot yesterday and you seem to be very hungry again today.
食事は好きだよ。食べている時は自分が人間だと感じられるから。
Makes sense. Human?
そう。成人だなんだって扱われ続けると、己が何者かわからなくなりそうになるんだ。そんな時、料理を食べたり眠ったり、人間らしいことをするとホッとする。ただ安堵するだけで、異質な存在であることには変わらないんだけどね。
Saint Yune. He looked human, but he was a true saint. Different. That was how the people, myself included, viewed him. I never thought Saint Yune would worry about being human.
お前はどうなの? 見た感じ食が細そうだけど、ちゃんと食べてる?
Let's save. Here. Do I sound like I have a stuffy nose? I don't like that. I also eat a lot. Don't worry, I eat a lot too, just like you, Saint Yune.
大食いって。私のことをそんな風に見てたんだ。怒ってないからそんな顔しないで。実際、私は大食いだからね。人が食べている姿を見るのは気持ちがいいものだ。いつか一緒に動けなくなるまで食べてみたいものだ。
Huh? Saint Yune didn't pause his voracious eating as we talked. One by one his plates were cleared, until eventually the cart was empty.
ごちそうさま。さて、議会へ向かおうか。
I stacked the dishes to make the cleaning go more quickly, and asked him whether he was leaving right away. You just ate. Shouldn't you rest a little?
このまま横になったら寝てしまうけどいいの?
He is so mean. I just had a big breakfast and now I'm very eepy. We can't have that.
だろ? だからほら、早く行こう。
Saint Yune led the way to the assembly hall. A flood of chatter washed over us when he opened the door. As the people inside saw Saint Yune, they fell silent one by one. By the time he sat down, the place was quiet. I stood behind Saint Yune and looked around. It's been years since I was here. Last time I had stood in the corner to watch, I had a very different perspective now. I can see all their faces up close from here. Does it feel so oddly close for him as well?
これより議会を開始する。なお、本日はユネ様がいらっしゃる。皆の者、一層襟を正すように。
He's kinda hot, right? I like the way he looks more than his son. He's kinda hot. Too bad he's like an asshole. I forgot to breathe for a moment. Of course I remembered him. Right, he's the speaker. Warner Evans. He was from a powerful family and chaired the assembly, steering the fate of our country. He was also the father of my fiancé, Fitzgerald Evans. No, former fiancé. Now that I thought about it, all the misfortune had begun with the annulment of our engagement. To me, it was a blessing that it was annulled, but for my parents, it wasn't. I don't know why it was annulled either. It confused them so much. Mysteries had only grown from then on. Had to wonder whether anything was going to be cleared up. How many times would I have to grieve and suffer? No, I need to be more positive. I hadn't been exiled at least. My reprieve would last only for a month, but at least I had that. I was Saint Yune's personal attendant and I had to do my job. There wasn't much I was going to be able to do in the limited time I had left. But I still have to look at the future with hope. I have to trust myself. After a couple of hours, the assembly entered a short break. Lord Warner came over to Saint Yune, who was gazing idly at the men assembled.
ユネ様、本日はお越しくださりありがとうございます。
別に仕事の一環だから来ただけで感謝されるようなことではないよ。
Lord Warner grimaced and glanced at me. His face became slightly harder.
ユネ様、そのものを連れて来られるなど。
Yo, he said mono. No. Actually, Anli taught me that mono can also be used for people instead of just things. So maybe he's not being impolite. I don't know.
悪いことかな。彼女は付き人だ。私のそばにいるのは不自然ではないし、違法ではない。
ですが、そもそも元貴族とはいえ、親殺しの犯罪者です。にもかかわらずそばに置くなど、やはり。
うるさいな。誰を選ぼうと私の勝手だ。
He's more rude than I expected him to be. Saint Yune sighed and stood up.
今日はもういいや。私は帰る。
Saint Yune, the assembly.
いいから、後のことは任せたよ。オーナー・エヴァンス。
はい、承知いたしました。ユネ様。
Saint Yune, are you sure that leaving was alright?
いいんだよ。私の後ろで見ていたお前にはわかるだろ。私がいようがいなかろうが関係ないんだ。
It's true, they didn't address him once during the session. They had simply watched as the delegates talked amongst themselves. Might be a boring job, but leaving your post just because you didn't feel like being there was a mistake.
不満そうな顔だね。私が退場したのがそんなに気に食わない？あの議会は神官が参加したって事実だけで十分なんだ。神官が認可したという証明になるからね。だから最後までいる必要はない。私は部屋に戻るから昼食を持ってきて。
All he does is be bored and eat. That sounds quite good, honestly. Well, it depends on him whether he's getting paid or not, I guess. He left in the direction of his quarters. Did I make him angry? I still found it difficult to understand what he was thinking. It'd been an object of devotion in my childhood, and in a way, he still was. But there's more. the more I learned about him, the more my impression of him edged away from what I considered saintly. But he's still a saint. I need to remember that when I approach him. Saint Yune was amicable when I brought him his lunch and when I removed the dishes later on. After a long nap, we set out again, this time for his afternoon appointments. He had a prayer assembly. It was a gathering of the most devout in the country, a chance for them to listen to Saint Yune.
自分を愛し、認めなさい。自分の最たる理解者は自分。目覚めの瞬間からその体朽ちるまで、あなたはその檻から離れることはできないのです。
Sorry for the noise. Saint Yune's voice was the only sound in the quiet chapel. I'm surprised. He seemed like a different person. His grin was nowhere to be found. He looked at the people with a stern, merciful expression. His voice was calm and soft, soothing their souls. This was the saint I had always imagined. As soon as we were back in the parlor, Saint Yune slumped into a chair and sighed. Good work, Saint Yune.
いつも思うけど、喋り続けるのって大変だ。私は物静かだから、なおさら苦労する。
Don't talk much?
そうでしょ?
Saint Yune leans back, giving me a wry look.
私の説法どうだった? 聞いててつまらない?
I thought it was nice, but... He watched me, waiting for me to continue. You looked so different compared to when you were in the assembly. I was surprised, in a good way.
まあ、彼らは私の話をちゃんと聞いてくれるし、私の言ったことを無条件で受け入れようとする危うい面もあるから、真剣にならざるを得ないというか、神官として扱われている以上、民の信仰心は裏切りたくないんだ。
So he actually has a good sense of responsibility. That's surprising. Saint Yune? His eyes were clear and focused, like they had been during the sermon. In those moments, he had the look and presence of a priest. So, why does he want me to kill him then? His death would make many people deeply sad. It would be a profound loss to their faith too.
見つめないでよ、照れるから。今日の仕事はこれでおしまい。さ、帰るよ。
Oh, very well. I'd like to know his reason. I couldn't bring myself to ask. It felt like something intensely private. Perhaps I would understand in time. Before one of us was dead. Evening sun was red as a flame when we returned to his room. We could see it from the balcony, pulling down the veil of night. I was preparing to bring his dinner when Saint Yune approached me. An errand?
そう。私の代わりに買い物をしてほしいんだ。財布はそこの棚の中。好きに使っていいよ。
Right now?
当然でしょ。明日でいいなら明日言うよ。何でもいいから、お菓子を買ってきて。
Alright, candy. Candy? Saint Yune nodded. I hadn't misunderstood him.
私はどこにいても目立つからね。買いに行けば街は混乱する。だからお前に頼みたい。甘いものを食べたい気分なんだ。今日食べたいから今日買ってきて。よろしくね。
Couldn't possibly refuse. Saint Yune sprawled out on the sofa, waiting for me to complete the errand. Should I be allowed to go out alone as a criminal? Saint Yune's astonishing request made me worried for myself. But I can't refuse an order. I'll have to go. I brushed aside the unease I felt and collected the purse from the drawer. See you later.
気をつけてね。
I'd been worried that the presence of a criminal would cause unrest, but nobody's paying me any attention. They're living their lives as always. I guess this was to be expected, but most of the people didn't know me after all. Being outside gave me a sense of freedom. I concentrated on carrying out my task. Candy should be around here. I had reached the road with several stores there selling food. What kind of candy does he like? There were a variety of different kinds. I chastised myself for not asking him, but then I remembered how he had eaten breakfast. He ate everything, no matter what it was, and he seemed to like it. That didn't help. I'll buy chocolates to be on the safe side. I love chocolates. And again, there are a variety kinds of chocolates too. I bought one of every kind from a store, resulting in an astonishingly heavy bag. Sorry. This is the first time I've bought so much chocolate. I hope he likes at least some of it. Now that I think about it, I have some memories of chocolate. Father, look! They have chocolate!
あれは売り物だよ。買わなければ手に入らない。
Why? What does that mean?
労働だ。人は働くことによってお金を得る。そのお金で買うんだよ。
Okay. I want to work to buy chocolate. Give me work.
弱ったな。ではこうしよう。帰ったら母さんのお手伝いをしなさい。
I will, father. And after that, he went into town with me and bought me chocolate. That was so long ago, but I can still remember it so clearly. It felt unreal to me that he was gone. My home isn't far from here. I could have gone if I had wanted to. But I have to take the chocolate to Saint Yune. A heavy bag of chocolate was making its presence known. He didn't tell me I couldn't take any detours, so I can probably go there for a little while. Here I am. I had only been gone for a few days. The house looked exactly the same. There were no police officers and no cordon. The house looked like it always has, welcoming me and my family. I was able to soak in its familiar appearance. I wonder how it looks inside. I had only intended to look at it from the outside, but now the desire to enter rose in me. I'll go back if it's locked. I couldn't tell whether I wanted it to be locked or not. But when I found it unlocked, I was relieved. Inside, everything was as I had left it. It was like being back in the dream I had had. Mother, father. I tried to whisper their names, half expecting them to emerge and greet me. My hopes were swallowed by silence. Blood. There was a red stain on the carpet. I bent down to touch it. The remains had been removed, and most of the blood had been wiped off. Not all of it, though. Some of the carpet was still stained dark. If I'd had more presence of mind back then, they'd still be alive, perhaps. They'd still be with me now. There was no use thinking about it. It just hurt so much. I need to live a good life, one they would be proud of. Please sleep in peace now. Anger at the culprit mingled with my grief and sadness. I need to find the culprit. Couldn't end like that. Justice had to be meted out. I don't have a lot of time. I need to find a way. Have to get back to Saint Yune.
おい、そこで何をしている?
Yikes. I was about to leave when a loud voice stopped me.
そこは空き家だ。一体何をしていた?
I know this voice. I knew what to expect when I turned around. Oh, it's him! Ark!
お前、レディ。
Honey?
今は親殺しの犯罪者か。下界へ送られたはずでは。
Damn, that surprised me. Sorry, I screamed, sorry. I got shocked too, so. The town was so big, and yet I'd run into him of all people. He's not going to believe me, even if I deny the crime. Complex circumstances have led me to be employed as Saint Yune's personal attendant. If you doubt me, make an information request to the temple.
マジかよ。犯罪者を雇うなんて、ユネ様。
Is that criticism? Are you insulting the judgment of His Holiness?
まだ何も言ってないし、セーフだろ。付き人か。まあ、その紋章を背負ってるなら本当のことなんだろうな。
I want to end this conversation as quickly as possible. Where's your partner? Shouldn't you be together?
君がいない今、警備範囲が広がってね。手分けをして巡回しているのさ。まったく迷惑な話だ。しかし、ほんといいよな、女は。
Oh, fuck
結
off.
局優遇されるんだからさ。
I forgot how annoying he
新刊の
is.
付き人か。俺は逆立ちしたってなれないだろうな。
I dislike this man so much. If he wasn't going to leave, then I had to. I was about to turn around when a question popped into my head. Ark, can I ask you something?
ああ、んだよ。
Look at this fool yapping, bro. He was worse in the common route. I really hated him. He hasn't appeared again until now. It's about Finn. I heard he was discharged. But that's all I know. Do you have any idea how he's doing right now?
知るかよ。あんなやつ興味全然ねえし。
I don't like him.
俺は君と違って忙しい警察官様なんでね。そろそろ失礼させてもらう。じゃあな、元レディ。
Considering he's like yapping a lot in this route, I wonder if he'll have a more prominent role this time around. I hope he's a bad guy so I can see him get fucked over, please. There goes a loathsome man. I sighed as he disappeared in the distance. Finn, what are you doing right now? Is he doing alright? By the time I arrived at the temple, it was dark. I hurried back to Saint Yune, expecting him to be angry at my delay. Excuse me. I'm sorry that it took so long. I put the bag of chocolate on the table and looked at Saint Yune.
驚いた。本当に買ってきたんだ。
Surprised? Were you testing me? Had Saint Yune expected me to abandon my duty? This is easy. Being a dumbass. I keep my promises. I said I'd buy you candy, so I did.
うん。だから驚いてるんだ。監視なしで新会員の外へ出られたんだ。お前は逃げることもできたはず。なのにのこのこと帰ってくるからびっくりした。
Oh, okay. He was right. I had been able to go into the town without restrictions. On the way I had run into Ark, but that just had been my own bad luck. Could I have escaped? But where would I have gone? Even if I could have hidden myself somewhere, I was still a criminal. In fact, running away would have added to my crimes. This country is small. I couldn't have run away for long. Besides, running away would be an admission of guilt. I wasn't going to do that.
ま、戻ってきてくれてよかったよ。面倒事を避けられたし、お菓子も食べられる。
Good for you, Yune.
は、チョコレートがたくさん。
Don't you like it?
うん、結構好き。でも、こんなに食べたことはないな。へえ、こんなに種類があるんだ。
Yeah, we just have to run into Ark of all people. MC has a bad habit of running into people she shouldn't run to. I mean, this whole mess started because she ran into, like, Zaxxon. while patrolling. So I bought one of each kind that the store had. Saint Yune picked a small piece of chocolate wrapped in silver paper and bit off a chunk.
私は体が弱くてね。熱を出した時、決まって家族がホットミルクを作ってくれたんだ。具合が良くなる魔法だよと言って、チョコレートを一かけ入れてくれてね。
Is that how you make hot chocolate?
美味しかったな。
Interesting. You had a family?
当然だよ。
Aww.
と言っても、一人になってから随分経つけどね。昔。本当にずっと昔の話だ。
Saint Yune smiled softly, recalling something distant. Could have been any boy. Looking at him calmed my heart.
お使いに行ってくれてありがとう。ご苦労様。
I'm glad I could be of use. Saint Yune told me I should eat some of the chocolates as well, so I sat down opposite him on the sofa and chose one. By coincidence, it was the same brand that my father had bought me. It made me smile. Never realized Saint Yune had a family as well. Human beings don't pop out of nowhere, so perhaps I should have expected it. But we had been taught that he was our one and only sovereign. It was a little strange. If I could tell my father that I'm in Saint Yune's private rooms and spending time with him, he'd be shocked. My mother probably would have fainted. I would have loved to see that.
ねえ、街で何かあった？
I looked up. Saint Yune was watching me.
落ち込んでいるように見えるから、どうしたのかなって思ってさ。
Should I tell him that I went to my old home? I trusted Saint Yune, of course. I had no idea what the consequences of telling him might be, though, so I hesitated. He asked me directly, so I should give him an honest answer. I had no allies. Saint Yune was my only guiding light. I found myself embracing the faint hope that with Saint Yune's support, I might be able to find the real killer. I don't want to betray his trust. Well, after I bought my chocolate, I went to my old home. I wanted to know how it looked without anyone living there. I thought I'd be satisfied looking at it from the outside. But it was so exactly the same. The door wasn't locked, so I went inside. It was just the same on the inside as well. Except, the people were gone. The people who had been there just a few days earlier. If I hadn't blacked out, if I hadn't been more attentive, then my parents might still be alive. That makes me angry.
変なことを言うね。お前が親を殺したんだ。隙も何もないだろ。
He's so stubborn about us killing our family. Like the guys at their house would usually already believe that we didn't kill our parents. Looking at how earnestly Kiras does everything. But he's like, nope, nope, you must have killed them. Ain't no way you didn't. Saint Yune? No, I don't have proof, but I really didn't kill them. I loved my parents. I would have never have killed them. So, I would like to prove my innocence and find a real killer.
それは困る。
Yeah.
お前が殺人犯でないと計画が無駄になってしまう。私を殺せと命じただろ。忘れたのか？
Well,
親を殺せる非常さを見込んで救ってやったんだ。それができないというのなら、私にとってお前は無価値だ。
rude way of putting it. Death always leads to grief. If you lose your life, many people will grieve. They will lose hope, and some might end their own life trying to follow you. Why do you want to die so badly?
それはね、教えない。お前は何も考えず私を殺せ。父と母を無情に刺した時のように。私の計画とお前の主張は相反するし、認められない。けど、それでも無罪を主張したいというのなら、証拠を見つけることだ。 罪人処分報告書を覆せる確たる証拠を。
Proof? Yes. As a police officer, I had always needed proof to arrest someone. But how? I didn't have the alleged weapon. All I had were memories and hope. I had nothing to go by. Alright, I forgot this guy is also kinda nuts. Have you played this before? Did you enjoy his route? Who was your favorite? That is the most important question, actually. How, I wondered, was I going to accomplish anything? That didn't go well. I had been hoping that he would rescue me, but he had extinguished that light of hope. He needed the criminal I was supposed to be. I had to deny the truth if I was going to live. Do I really need to live with a crime I didn't commit? Was I going to have to carry the crime of killing my parents for the rest of my life? I really don't want that. At any rate, I couldn't rely on Saint Yune. There was nobody else who believed in my innocence. I need proof. There was only a little blood left in my home. That wasn't going to prove anything. I need to find proof. I had to search, not even knowing whether any proof existed anywhere. I didn't want to live a lie. Even if all my allies are gone, I will live true to myself. I decided I would have faith in myself. The next day. Actually, I need to go to the toilet, so be right back real quick. Alright, I'm back. You deleted a message I didn't get to see. But okay. The next day. Yesterday didn't end on a satisfying note with Saint Yune. I hadn't been able to enlist his help, but he remained a key figure in my life. I need to leave that behind when I talk to him. Excuse me? Good morning, I've brought you your breakfast. Oh. I caught sight of Saint Yune as soon as I opened the door. He was in his What? What is with this game and the underwear thingy, I swear. He was in his underwear, apparently. I never played this game, but I watched you for a few minutes ago and got immersed in the story. Oh, yay! I'm happy that you like it so far. I highly recommend watching Adage's route, honestly. He's my favorite, the green-haired guy. He's my favorite. You were changing! I'm so sorry,
ああ、去らなくていい。朝食持ってきてくれたんだろ。そこに置いてよ。お腹が減ってるんだ。
Alright. I've never seen a man naked. Technically I had seen my father in the bath as a child. But that was more than 10 years ago. I didn't know where it was polite to look. I decided to look away entirely and ignore him. Once I set down his food, I'd leave the room. Yes.
今日の料理も美味しそうだ。
Then Yune walked to the table and ate a grape. In his underwear. Bro, why does bro act like an old man? The only men I know that like walks around half naked are old men. I mean, I guess he's like an immortal, so he is an old man, but all the men in this game are weird, man. Bro, he didn't even care. No, for real though.
Nani その姫。変なの。
I'm weird? Bruh. I know that I am. Please put on clothes. What the fuck?
どうしようかな。
Dude, this is sexual harassment at work. Saint Yune gave a childish smile and closed the distance between us. This is harassment! No! No. This is harassing me. What are you doing?
お前の様子が面白いから。
Bro, stop.
じっくり観察しようかなって思って
Bro is insane. Okay, it highly depends though, because like, if he wears boxers, it's fine, right? Because it's like kind of like short pants, but if he goes to sleep wearing just like tidy whiteys, like undies, like actual like underwear, you can see like the shape. No. What am I doing? Like, yeah, okay, I'm just gonna now please stop.
やめてほしければ恥ずかしがらなければいい。いたずらさせないコツは反応しないことだよ。
This is harassment. No. Stop. And with that, he turned around and walked to the closet. Thank you. Let's not imagine it too much. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I shouldn't. All the men are insane. I see. So, so far we have two guys who like to say weird shit. No, three guys that like to sexually harass me. One guy who likes to fight with me, and like one kind of normal guy. Good track record in this game. Good. He's going to put on clothes now.
そうだ。私のここ見てごらん。
私のここ見てごらん。Like, huh? Yeah, I would react the same way.
いいから。ほら。
What? Huh? What? I was reluctant, but had no real choice but to do it. Telling myself it was in order, I looked at Saint Yune. Game? I guess that's fine, right? Like, he looks nice, but okay. Skin was as white as porcelain. On his chest, between his collarbones, there was a small hole. Oh, like the key thing? I thought it was a necklace.
びっくりしてくれてありがとう。その顔が見たかったんだ。
This is a bit more than just surprising. I touched my own chest, probing for a similar hole. Of course, there were none. Saint Yune, what is that on your chest?
内緒。さっさとネタばらししたらつまらないでしょ。
What are you, like a robot? But
なんてね。
Oh.
お前には殺してもらわないといけないし、特別に教えてあげる。これは私が不老不死である証。胸のここには機械が埋まっているんだ。
Can't we just take an axe to it then? A machine.
そう。はるか昔、私はとても体が弱くてね。 この機会がなければ大洪水前に死んでいただろう。でもこうして生きている。老いることもなく死ぬこともなく、この機会によって生かされている。こんなに長生きしようとは思ってなかったのに、困ったものだよ。
If the machine keeps you alive, can't you just stop it?
うん。私もそう考えた。
Oh, sorry. And?
続きはまた今度。
Bruh.
今は朝食が最優先だ。
Bruh. Do you want to get killed or not? Seemingly content with my reaction, he quickly got dressed. I'll be interested to hear more of the story.
いつか教えてあげるから楽しみにしていて。
I see, so he's basically Tony Stark but a saint and have a beautiful face. Is Tony Stark immortal? I don't think he is, right? And Yune doesn't have a sick-ass robot suit, unfortunately. I watched him as he ate. He seemed to enjoy the food, but my mind was elsewhere. That slot in his chest, I've seen it before. For a key. Yes, for a key. It was a keyhole. Keyhole? What kind of machine makes a human live forever? Now I had another mystery to think about. Not that thinking about it was going to do me any good. No, but he did have a mechanical heart, didn't he? Yeah, he did. I remember seeing it in the movies, I think. Saint Yune is such a mysterious person. Schedule for today was meeting with the people. Randomly chosen applicants could have an audience with him. Being able to speak to Saint Yune directly without being in the temple official was, of course, incredibly rare. You're going to be over the moon! I stood behind him, looking out at the long line ahead. Men and women, old and young, everyone was anxious to speak with him. I imagine I'd be the same if I were in their position. Perhaps I'd have been sleepless with nerves and come to him exhausted and sleepy. Saint Yune was highly venerated.
Yune-sama!
Tall man appeared and stumbled towards him. This man... The documents showed him to be a florist. So he brought him flowers. Aww! I like that.
本日はその日柄もよくそのいい天気ですね。
Cute.
そのようだ。もっとも礼拝堂からは天候を知ることはできないが。
Stop making people feel more awkward, bruh.
そうですね。すみません。
Voice acting done must be fun. That was his only chance to speak with Saint Yune, and yet he could only talk about the weather. He's too nervous. I had to smile at their exchange. There were sounds of giggling in the background.
この花、今朝咲いたものです。受け取っていただけますか？
He extracted a bundle of colorful flowers from their paper wrapping.
おい、直接の受け渡しは禁止されていると。
構わない。受け取ろう。
Stood up and walked towards the man. The man was sweating. He was trembling too. If someone had given him the slightest prod, he would have lost his balance.
どうぞ。
ありがとう。美しい花だな。
Aw, at least he's being nice about it. And the moment Saint Yune touched the flowers... What? Huh. So he takes life forces from living beings? That's a common trope. The flowers wilted and scattered. Flowers' lustrous color had disappeared. Brown petals tumbled to the floor.
どうして申し訳ございません、ユネ様。
The man was shaken. He turned around and fled.
誰かここの掃除を。慎重にね。私は一時退席する。
はっ、
Why did the flowers wilt? What just happened? I looked at Saint Yune. His expression was impassive, I guess. I decided it wasn't the time to ask and simply followed him back to his room. Back in his room, Saint Yune sat down on the sofa. He hasn't said anything since he left for the chapel. He left the chapel. Bleh! He hasn't said anything since he left the chapel. Thinking. I wasn't sure whether he wasn't in the mood for chatting or if he wanted to avoid talking about the flowers. This probably always happened for him, huh? That would be interesting because, well, I don't think he's touched us like skin to skin contact, so maybe that would make this way more interesting than I thought it would be. After some thinking, I decided to bring it up. I should stop if I see him not liking the topic. I opened my mouth. About what happened in the chapel? Did you explain to me why the flowers wilted?
説明も何もお前が見たままそれが全てであり真実だ。あの花には私に害を及ぼすものが含まれていたのだろう。例えば毒とかね。
Oh, I see. Harm you?
そうだよ。この国で生まれたのならお前も知っているはずだ。
The tale? The tale was a short poem extolling Saint Yune. It was a staple in compulsory education. Saint Yune does not age or die, praying for the people in eternal peace. Thank Saint Yune and his blessing, for his love is infinite.
よく言えたね。聖説の通り私は不老不死だ。だから花は枯れた。それだけだ。
That's a bit of a flimsy explanation. I was confused by how those things were supposed to be connected. And why his life was apparently in danger to begin with? Saint Yune was a symbol of our country. I could think of no reason to target him.
ユネ様、清掃が完了しました。礼拝堂へお戻りください。
わかった。私の説明は以上だ。いいね。
I don't think I can ask him for more information right now, even if I'm not satisfied. I nodded and followed him out of the room. He's the man from before.
ユネ様、先ほどは大変失礼いたしました。
He was the man who had given flowers to Saint Yune in the chapel. My throat. Why is he here? Only temple employees were allowed in the hallways.
構わないよ。枯れてしまったけど、お前の気持ちは確かに受け取った。
本当に申し訳ございません。何と申し上げればいいか。
This is a little weird. Of course, it could have simply been that he slighted Saint Yune and wanted to apologize, but I didn't think so.
お詫びとして、これを差し上げます。
Man took a step towards Saint Yune and reached into his pockets.
死ね
Interesting vocalization. A knife? It's hella suspicious. It very much is, yes. I do wonder, like, again, like, everyone loves Saint Yune. I don't understand why people would want to murder him. Like, if it's the people in the depths, then yeah, I get it. But people in the heights? I don't understand. I reached for my sword, but the man had his knife out much faster. I will make it! The man brought his knife down on Saint Yune, and when it touched his body, all the glass in the hallway shattered with a deafening shriek. And that wasn't all. Glass had embedded itself in the man's body. A large shard had gone deep into his throat. Oh, so like, the whole world refuses to let him know. Wait, this is so interesting. Okay. Blood was running down from his mouth. He reached for the shard in his throat, trying to remove it. Pulled it free, letting forth a torrent of blood. Saint Yune's clothes were stained bright red. Man attempted to grab Saint Yune as he collapsed. He was dead before his fingers could touch him. What just happened?
言っただろ。私は不老不死だと。
He planned to use a knife after seeing flowers dying right after he touched it. A brave plan. Well, to be fair, you know, like if I'm assassinating someone and see that poison didn't work, then my next option would be to use a knife, no? Like, who would have expected the windows to all break and like stab you? That's so extra. I thought like just the knife would bounce off or something. Uh-huh.
どうした？何？
People came running, drawn by the noise. I bet it's him. I don't trust Warner at all. Lord Warner was at the forefront of the crowd. Apparently the assembly had been in session.
これは一体。ユネ様、どういうことです？
命を狙われただけだ。問題ないよ。
Saint Yune was perfectly composed. He was completely unaffected by the horror in front of him. How can he be so calm? I'd been standing next to him and I was dumbfounded. Lord Warner grimaced at me.
キルス・ティステラ。ユネ様のそばについておきながらこのありさま。その剣は飾りか？
I'm very sorry. He was completely right. If it hadn't been for that mysterious intervention, Saint Yune would surely be dead. I'm not his bodyguard, but if I'm given a sword, I need to protect him.
私は怪我一つしていない。オーナー、彼女を責めないでくれ。
ですが。
彼女はただの付き人であり、私を守る義務はない。私がいいと言っているんだ。責めるのはやめろ。
It's probably just a Tuesday in the man's life. How can he be bored? No, actually, if all the assassination plans don't happen, like, are like this, then yeah, I guess he would be bored. All bro does is like do boring stuff, eat, and thwart assassination attempts.
わかりました。遺体の処理は責任を持って行います。
Saint Yune thanked him and looked at me.
身を清めに行ってくる。お前は控え室で待機していて。
Shouldn't I accompany you?
身を清めるというのは弱みをするということだよ。付き添えるの？恥ずかしくて無理でしょ？
Oh.
できるだけ早く戻る。おとなしく待っていること。いいね。
Once Saint Yune was gone, a throng of employees appeared. Some of them removed the corpse, others the glass shards, and yet others set about repairing the windows. His path will take a bit of time, I'm sure. Based on past experience, I was fairly sure he wasn't going to tell me much about the man's death. I could investigate on my own. I looked around for someone to ask. My eyes fell upon Lord Warner. He was standing by, watching the servants. He wasn't busy. Most of all, he was the speaker. Surely he knew a lot. I'm not thrilled by this, but let's try to ask him. Lord Warner? Gave an audible sigh. I haven't even said anything! So rude! Have my apologies for this. We can be happy Saint Yune is uninjured, but you're right. I should have been more alert. This won't happen again. If there's anything you know about this, please tell me.
何を知りたい？
Why do you think he was after Saint Yune's life? Who would target a symbol of faith and grace?
心からそう思っているのは貴族だけだ。庶民の中にはよく思わない者もいる。この国の政治は完璧だ。貧富の差は大きくなく、皆家と家族を持ち、飢える者もいない。だが、多くないとはいえ格差は確かに存在する。その不満のはけ口として、ユネ様が狙われるのだ。
I see. He isn't involved with governance very much, but if he suffers assassination attempts, why isn't he guarded? Oh, I thought she was going to ask Ark about this. Well, thank goodness it wasn't Ark. I don't want to hear his mouth hole yapping.
ユネ様が望まれないからだ。それに、つける必要がない。
There isn't?
この世界に愛されているユネ様は、死の危機を回避できる。ユネ様を傷つけようとする者は、世界によって裁かれる。
This reminds me of like that Norse mythology, you know? The one about, how do I say his name? Balder? Where his mom made everything in the world promise not to hurt Balder, except for a small mistletoe. And that mistletoe ended up killing him. This reminds me of that a lot.
その僧帽で見ただろう。あの男が世界に殺される奇跡を。
Miracle? I'd always thought that a miracle was a wonderful fortuitous event, whatever. I wasn't sure whether someone's death could be called the same. And what exactly does the world loves Saint Yune mean? I don't understand. Why did that happen?
理解できるかどうかは重要ではない。起こることさえ知っていればそれでいい。どんなものであれ、あの方を傷つけることはできない。それが世界の断りだ。
I wonder what happens if he like kills himself, like he tries to like hurt himself, like would the knife just bounce off or something? Huh? I turn around towards the groans. One of the employees trying to remove the corpse has thrown up on the floor. That's horrible. I looked away immediately, but I had already seen it. Yeah, fair enough. I don't know if anybody can explain it. I guess so. Like, it's just, like, it happens. Like, I don't know how it happened. Because, like, if the windows all break and, like, one large piece conveniently lodged itself into, like, the throat of the assailant and none of it even scratched us, then yeah, there's clearly, like, bigger powers at play.
おい、吐くなら向こうで吐けよ。
だってよ、見てみろよこの死体、血だらけのガラスまみれだ。
That's me. That would be me.
こんなことができるなんて、あのお方はやはり人とは思えない。
まあな、実際そうだろ。年を取らないなんて君が悪い。
For a moment, Lord Warner was silent. Then he began to yell at the workers.
おい、そこの不敬罪で問われたくなければ口を閉ざせ。
失礼しました。
He snorted and looked at me.
本件、ユネ様がお怒りでなければいいのだが、こういうことはその自慢の件で防いでほしいものだ。
Roger. Countless glass shards slithered the floor. Flecks of flesh and blood had gone as high as the ceiling. Blah. I can be glad that Saint Yune is unhurt. This is an ugly sight. And what's more, what scared me the most was what the Lord Warner had said. How the world ostensibly loved him so much that it averted any mortal danger. If that was true, how could I possibly wound Saint Yune? And yet he wants me to kill him. How am I supposed to do that? The audience seems to have been cancelled. And not just the audience. A scheduled dinner party with nobles was also cancelled. They had insisted out of consideration for Saint Yune. He may be feeling very disturbed right now. A man had died in front of him. He was immortal, a priest, but surely that had stirred something in him. He might not eat any of the food I'm bringing. So then we're probably gonna die a horrible death before we even kill him. That's what I'm thinking. Which is like, why did he specifically ask us? Maybe because like we're a murderer, or so he thinks. So it's fine if we become a bloody corpse mess in front of him? I don't understand what he's thinking at all. It's quite interesting. Way more exciting than the last round anyway. I had asked the kitchen to prepare a grand dinner, more than usual. But I worried that he would have no appetite for any of it as I opened the door to his room. I brought you dinner.
ありがとう。おや、なんだか豪勢だね。
Yes, today was a hard day.
ふん、そう。
Seems your dinner party has been cancelled as well.
それは知ってる。ほんと、こういうのって困る。誰かと会えば、心配でしただの、無事で何よりだの気遣われる。その度同じようなことを答えなくてはいけない。何度も何度も。ほんと、面倒極まりないよ。
Oh, I see. Then Yune didn't like it when others tried to be considerate. Maybe this isn't welcome either. I wonder whether my actions had the opposite effect.
でも、美味しい食事は歓迎だよ。ありがとう。
あ、
こんな料理、いつもなら出てこない。お前が買えるよう手配したのだろ。食べるのは好きだから、その点は評価する。
I see. I'm glad you appreciate it then. I need to be careful that I don't get too considerate of him. Either way, I had something to do. I worked up my courage and knelt before Saint Yune. I'm your attendant, not your guard, but I know how to use a sword. If I had drawn my sword in time, I could have stopped that man and prevented such a shocking scene. I'm very sorry.
そういうのが面倒だって言ってるんだけど、気に病む必要はない。私は死なないからね。それに、万が一お前の抜いた剣が私に触れたら、死ぬのはお前だよ。私は老いることもなく、死ぬこともない。我が身の危険と引き換えに、他人の命を消し去ってしまう化け物なんだ。異質だからこそ、人は私を崇め、私を恐れる。それが、聖人ユネだ。そんな私をお前はどう殺してくれるんだろう。楽しみにしているよ、キルスさん。
Looking forward to it, huh? Isn't it impossible if I can't use a sword?
そうだよ。そして私は自分を殺す方法を知らない。私でさえ私を傷つけることができないんだ。大丈夫。さほど期待していないから。できなかったらできなかったで、お前に死んでもらうだけ。
That's a bit dark.
生きたければ、頑張って私のために私を殺す方法を探すことだ。
Right. If I didn't kill him before time ran out, then he would kill me. He smiled at me. It was a cold smile. I could feel he wasn't joking. I need to start working immediately. I need to find a way. After a long day, I returned to my room. I thought I had understood that Saint Yune was immortal, but I had been misjudging him. All I had been able to see had been his order to kill him. There's a reason he didn't tell me how I should kill him. There's no way. World kills whoever harms Saint Yune. That's why the flowers had died too. They had been poisonous, so they had wilted the moment Saint Yune had touched them. The world had killed the flowers. And I'm supposed to kill him. Hi, Annie! Welcome! We'll be playing in half an hour, right, Annie? Now we're cooked. We are so cooked. I am so curious how they're going to solve the route. It's very interesting. It said he had low expectations. I took that as an admission that I would be unable to kill him. And if I can't do it, I'll die. This is such an awful game. Saint Yune was the highest existence in our country, and his command was absolute. What? I had to serve him, protect him, and eventually kill him. If I can prove my innocence, then I could invade my exile in the depths. Would Saint Yune let me go without forcing me to try to kill him as well? But how would I even go about doing that? I have no idea how I could prove my innocence. But as far as I could tell, there was no escaping my death. But Saint Yune had wished me good luck. Well, what does he expect me to do? His perspective.
親殺しの女か。
I had never felt the urge to kill a family member. Probably. I'd been alive for more than 400 years, so some things were difficult to remember.
ずっと一緒に生きてきた者を殺すのはどんな気持ちなんだろう。どんなではないな。私もかけらは知っているはずだ。あの日、結果がどうなるか分かっていたのに、あの場へ置いてきてしまったんだ。実質殺したようなものだ。
Who is he talking about?
望んでしたことではないとはいえ、罪悪感は拭えない。日常のどこにでも潜んでいて、ふとした時に蘇る。
He's probably not gonna leave us alone that easily since he is so stubborn about it anyway. That's what I'm thinking. Like, I don't know how they'll solve this route nicely, cause then, what? Is he just gonna say, you know what? I want to live? Cause that's a little forceful, no? Considering he wants to die. Like, his whole motivation is he wants to die. So I'm really intrigued.
それから解放されるためにも、やはり私は死ぬしかないんだと思う。でもその前に、一目だけでも見なくてはいけないんじゃないか。
Are we going to the depths? I just heard something. Had I imagined it? No, I definitely heard something.
起きたのか。おはよう。
Saint Yune, good morning. Saint Yune?
そうだけど、何？
This is my room.
そうだけど、新刊は控室に入ってはいけないって法はないよ。今日の予定を変更したこと伝えようと思って。ノックをしたけど返事がなかったから入ったんだ。
I think we were supposed to attend the assembly session again. He's pretty? Yes, he's very pretty. What are you planning instead?
保護地区の慰問だよ。
I knew it! We're going to the depths! The sanctuary district? That sanctuary district?
あのが何を指しているのかわからないけど、おそらくお前の思い描いている場所だ。
I remembered the key points in Ulrich's route because I think this is deeply connected to that one, but I just forgot. It's been a while. Condolences visits aren't usually decided on short notice.
決まるものなんだ。というか、私は決めたんだ。昨日の夜にね。
You decided on this? You want to go into the depths? That will be rough. Duty or not, that will be rough.
まあね。でも嫌いじゃない。新会員を出られるからいい息抜きになる。罪を犯した者とはいえ、大地に住む彼らもこの国のものだ。 無視するわけにはいかない。
That is very kind of you.
そうでもないよ。施しは一切しないし、私を見たからといって彼らの生活が豊かになるわけでもない。
Rough to go deep?
私
Ugly!
が赴くのはただのパフォーマンスでしかない。
Bad boy. Perhaps that's true, but your believers will be happier for it. I think it's wonderful.
彼らもそう思ってくれてるといいんだけどね。それじゃあ早速着替えてくれる？その服じゃ下界は歩けないだろう。
Oh, at time can't hear your answer. Just said you're a bad boy. Keep that for Glass Heart Princess. Oh. I didn't realize I was still in my nightgown. Please give me 5 minutes. I'll be ready in a moment. Back, welcome back. I said to not say things like that. Keep it for Glass Heart Princess. No being lewd. How could you?
わかった。
Saint Yune? Saint Yune gave me a quizzical look. I can't change with you standing there.
そう？私はお前がいても着替えられるけど。
All men are wolves. Did I say rough to go deep, really? Depths! I said depths! You don't change what I say. I said depths. Blech. Saint Yune. This guy, no, for real though.
冗談冗談。私の部屋で待ってるよ。
Same thing to me. Your English sucks then on me. Bleh.
5分以上使っていいから着替え終わったら朝食を持ってきて。しっかり食べて出発しよう。
All he does is like eat. He eats 3 times a day and they're all like big foods, and then in the middle during the events he also eats. Does it not get boring after a while? I will. The Sanctuary District. I was supposed to have been exiled there. My situation was different now, but I couldn't shake off my reluctance. I'm his attendant. If Saint Yune goes there, I have to go with him. Prayed that nothing could go wrong and put on my uniform. We sat inside the lift headed to the depths. Neither of us said anything. The only sound came from the rumbling contraption carrying us. It seemed like Saint Yune was deep in thought. He was leaning back and staring off into somewhere. How long is this gonna take? I could remember from the last time I'd used it that it took a long time, but not how long. I wish I knew how long it was. I opened Saint Yune's book of appointments on my lap.
それ持ってきたんだ。
Yes, I always carry it with me.
真面目だね。
I checked his appointments for the day. Alright, it was never written down here. Saint Yune, can I ask you some things? He looked at me expectantly. I'd like to know what you're planning on doing in the Sanctuary District.
いいよ、そんなのしなくて。お前はただ私の後をついてくればいい。
Are we going to meet Ulrich? But the depths are more dangerous than the temple, I think. We should talk about it.
危険だと思うね。お前の想像でしかないわけだ。よく知りもしない場所のことをそうやって決めつけるのは良くないよ。
I've gone to the depths.
一度だけ。それもたった数時間のことだろ。なのに全てを理解しているとでも言うの？
Well...
言えないだろ。お前にあるのは滞在中のわずかな記憶と他人に教わった偏った知識だ。また聞きの情報なんて役に立たない。お前は若いんだからその目で判断しないと。今日の仕事は私の付き添いではなく世間を知る勉強だと思え。
That's a bit ridiculous. I had to grin a little. I kind of understood where he was coming from, but... He's right that I should only judge things I've seen myself. He spoke like someone's dad. I was just thinking that, wow, his age is really showing there. I was just thinking that. Information I got from others was always tinged by their personal opinion and didn't entirely reflect reality. I resolved to think for myself instead of gobbling up someone else's account. Just being called young by you feels so odd.
私の見た目はお前より若いからね。ね、私は何歳だと思う？
Saint Yune's age? He doesn't like. Apparently, he wants to be called 16. About 16?
そんなわけないだろ。いや、見た目の年齢について言ってるのか。
Well, we know he's old because old people really likes being called young, so. Yes, I'm sorry, but you look younger than I do.
そうか。確かに雇い主に対してその発言は失礼だけど。いいよ、許してあげる。16歳か。そんな風に言われるのは何百年ぶりだろう。
That long?
そうだよ。私の時が止まってから大抵のものは私を人として扱ってくれなくなってしまった。
I mean, he still looks like a hamster, does he? He looks more like a rat, a cunning little rat. I see it, I guess. Hamsters are so cute though, and they're like so harmless, you know? Like, I feel like a cunning little rat is more necessary. Like, he has a rat tail. It's only obvious that he's a rat.
そういう意味では、お前という存在は少しは便利なのかもな。
Saint Yune?
少しはだよ。あまり浮かれないようにね。
Okay, I won't. We've arrived.
ああ、準備はいいか？
Always. Let's go. I didn't think I'd ever be here again. The air in the depths was damp and suffocating. The strange local smells assaulted my nostrils. I'd never been anywhere that smelled like it. I really thought I had seen the last of this place. At least I could be happy that I wasn't exiled here. Do you come here often, Saint Yune?
さあ、何度かかな。頻繁ではないよ。今回だって数年ぶりだ。
I think I should start like looking for a place where I could stop and save because soon I will be changing games to Glass Heart Princess. So yeah.
下界へは
One more scene.
気が向いた時しか来なくて、来たいと思うこともあまりないんだ。
Only when you feel like it, huh?
そうだよ。私は本当身勝手な存在なんだ。
I mean, considering you asked me to kill you, knowing full fact that we would die if we tried, yeah, I see it. Like, it's not surprising at all. Saint Yune? Oh god, it's you again.
ユネ様、遅くなり申し訳ございません。
Fucking Zaxxon.
お前は
ザクセン・ブランデンブルクです。
This guy.
お見知りおきを、ユネ様。
ザクセン。シアはどうした？
So he hasn't been here for at least 2 years because Zaxxon's been in charge for 2 years. So at least 2 years he hasn't been down here.
それが、セア・スコーネは不幸にも命を落としてしまい、今は私がリーダーを務めております。
そうか。亡くなったとは残念だ。
Sir Zaxxon bowed deeply and turned to me.
ユネ様、そちらの女性は。
私の付き人だ。丁重に扱ってくれ。
かしこまりました。それではこちらへ、保護地区へご案内します。
He's so respectful this time when we have Yune. At least he has a cool outfit. No, for real, he's like so handsome, but he's such a dick. Like, he's super handsome, his voice is great, his outfit looks badass, but he's an absolutely horrible piece of shit. It's horrible. He's a good actor.
ザクセンのこと？そうでもないと思うけど。私に対して本性を隠しているつもりみたいだけど、野心や欲が漏れ出ている。実に人間らしい男だ。
Human? I think he's a horrible despo?
そうか。私は多くのものと出会ってきたから、他人に対して寛容というか、鈍いのかもしれないね。
I think that's a good place to save. Okay. Everything changed when we reached the settlement. Save there. Alright. I will be changing games.